This needs to be focused and repositioned slightly. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Okay. Okay. How's that? Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Oh my gosh, what now? Haribol. Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Oops. Okay. Rama Rama. Okay, Hare Krishna. All glories to Prabhupada. Sub TK. Malega. So the volume's okay. We hope. Okay, all righty. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. See, I'm too far forward here. You see, I'm almost out the picture. Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare. Hare Rama. Hare Rama. Rama Rama. Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Okay. And if you can, yeah. If you can, what was it? Oh yeah, my face looks dark there, you see.
Okay.
Yeah, you can just sort of move it so it picks up some more light somehow or other. You know, it's hard to manipulate. Well, that's an improvement. Yeah, around like that. But now I still need to come back. I think it's too far forward. Maybe I should move. Yeah, now that's the right position. That's the right position. Anyway, yeah, we'll just have to make do. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihare Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihare Kapitaya Balasa Giripara His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada Ki, ISKCON Samstapakacharya Srila Prabhupada Ki, Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai, Shri Shri Radha Radhanath Ki, Shri Giri Govardhan Ki, Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Ki, Sankirtan Yagya Ki, Shri Rupa Goswami Ki, Shri Gauridas Pandit Ki, Go Premanande. All glories to their summer devotees. All glories to their summer devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 24, The Renunciation of Kardama Muni, text 42. Text 42. Just give me a second here. Got to readjust things slightly. Anyway, let's try that. Okay, text 42. 3. 24. 42. Vratam sa astito monam atmaika sharano mone nisango vyacharat shonem anagnya aniketana vratam sastito monam atmaika sharano mone nisango vyacharat shonem anagnir aniketana vratam sastito monam atmaika sharano mone nisango vyacharat shonem anagnir aniketana vratam sastito monam atmaika sharano mone nisango vyacharat shonem anagnir aniketana vratam sastito monam atmaka sharano mone nisango vyacharat shonem anagnir aniketana Mataji's. Vratam, vow. Sa, he, kardama. Astita, accepted. Monam, silence. Atma, by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Eka, exclusively. Sharana, being sheltered. Muni, the sage. Nisanga, without association. Vyacharat, he traveled. Kshonim, the earth. Anagni, without fire. Aniketana, without shelter. The sage Kardama accepted silence as a vow in order to think of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and take shelter of him exclusively. Without association, he traveled over the surface of the globe as a sannyasi, devoid of any relationship with fire or shelter. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Oops. Oh my gosh. Excuse me. It went a little crazy. So, purport by Srila Prabhupada. Here the words anagniya, aniketana are very significant. A sannyasi should be completely detached from fire and any residential quarters. A grihasta has a relationship with fire, either for offering sacrifices or for cooking, but a sannyasi is freed from these two responsibilities. He does not have to cook or offer fire for sacrifice because he's always engaged in Krishna consciousness. Oh, Krishna. Therefore, he's already accomplished all ritualistic performances of religion. Aniketana means without lodging. He should not have his own house, but should depend completely on the Supreme Lord for his food and lodging. He should travel. Mona means silence. Unless one becomes silent, he cannot think completely about the pastimes and activities of the Lord. It is not that because one is a fool and cannot speak nicely, he therefore takes the vow of Mona. Rather, one becomes silent so that people will not disturb him. It is said by Chanakya Pandit that a rascal appears very intelligent as long as he does not speak. But speaking is the test. The so-called silence of a silent impersonalist Swami indicates that he has nothing to say. He simply wants to beg. But the silence adopted by Kardama Muni was not like that. He became silent for relief from nonsensical talk. One is called a Muni when he remains grave and does not talk nonsense. Maharaj Ambarish set a very good example. Whenever he spoke about the pastimes of the Lord. Mauna necessitates refraining from nonsensical talking and engaging the talking facility in the pastimes of the Lord. In that way, one can chant and hear about the Lord in order to perfect his life. Vratam means that one should take a vow, as explained in Bhagavad Gita, amanitvam adambitvam, without hankering for personal respect and without being proud of one's material possession. Ahimsa means not being violent. There are 18 processes for attaining knowledge and perfection, and by his vow, Kardama Muni adopted all the principles of self-realization. All right. Let's read the verse again. Vratam saastito monam atmaika sharano muni nisango vyacharakshonim anagniya aniketana. The sage Kardama accepted silence as a vow in order to think of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and take shelter of him exclusively. Without association, he traveled over the surface of the globe as a sannyasi, devoid of any relationship with fire or shelter. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharane Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pastya Chadesh Tarne Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadha Shivasati Gaura Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Vanchikapaturubhyasya kripa sindhubhyevacha patitanam bhavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Srila Rupa Goswami ki, Srila Gauridas Pandit ki jai. Yes, Sri Radha Radhanath Sri Giri Govardhan Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai. So this is advice, particularly for sannyasis, but there's also some advice for everyone. But definitely, at least at the beginning, it's particularly for sannyasis. Anagniya aniketana. Agni, of course, means fire, so anagni means no fire. And aniketana, ketana means a residential place. And niketana means a residential place, and niketan means without. Just like we have one godbrother in Mauritius, very senior devotee and wonderful devotee, Sri Niketan. Sri Niketan means the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the place of residence or shelter. Yeah, like that, place of residence or shelter of Sri. Lakshmi, the goddess of fortune. So, but a sannyasi should be completely detached from fire and any residential quarters. Whereas a grihastha not only may or is allowed to have these things, but a grihastha has to have these things. Without having these things, a grihastha is not really a grihastha. I don't know what you'd call him. He's just, homeless, something or other. What he'd do with his family, well, who knows? Send them home to grandma. But grihastha, yes, grihastha has to perform sacrifice. At least traditionally, this means involving fire sacrifice. And a grihastha or offer sacrifice, and the grihastha has to cook, or at least someone has to cook in the family from the griha, from the grihastha team. But a sannyasi is freed from these two responsibilities. He doesn't have to cook because people provide. And if they don't provide, well, he just carries on. But by Krishna's arrangement, people provide. And people provide lodging. He gets invited, sometimes to too many places. He gets invited, so there's no need for making any arrangement for lodging. And I remember living that life before the lockdown. I tell you, it was amazing. It was amazing, just non-stop. But for the householders, these things are essential. Both, or either, Prabhupada says, either for offering sacrifice or for cooking. Just before the deity greeting, I glanced at my email, and there was one letter from, if you know her, Mother Malati, very senior devotee from America. She was here, wasn't she? Was Malati here? Yeah. Yeah, very saintly lady. And she was saying how when she was running, either she was just the temple president or it was a ladies' ashram, but it was some sort of ashram where there were ladies. There was a number of ladies and young unmarried ladies. And so she explained how one young man who had come over to work from India, from Bengal, he somehow or other had decided that he wanted to marry one of the girls who was living in the ashram. So he contacted his parents who were in Calcutta. This was all going on in Ohio. It's one of the states in the United States. So he was there in the United States, parents in Calcutta. So he wrote to them and, to get permission, blessings or whatever, these types of things. And the parents replied to Mother Malati, who was in whatever capacity in charge of that young lady. So the parents wanted to know, who is this young lady who our son is interested in marrying? So Mother Malati had to deal with it. And she wrote, she said, the mother was tough. She was full of questions and doubts and who is this and what this is this, and all sorts of things about her background and so on. But Mother Malati said the father had only one question: can she cook? That was the one question. You can read it. It's just, yeah, I thought it's very amusing, but very interesting. And then what happened? Can she cook? Oh, yeah. Can she cook? And she could cook. She was a very good cook. And she even knew how to make Bengali sweets. She was like a bit of a specialist cook.